Hey everybody, welcome to Around the Twist, episode 318. It's January 24th, 2018. And, okay, it's been a couple weeks. Get a little housekeeping stuff out of the way first. So I know I told you guys, I'm pretty sure I told you, last episode or the one before that, my work schedule changed a little bit. So I'm working. I normally record on Wednesdays. It's Wednesday, hey! I'm now working every other Wednesday, so please weigh in on the episode thread over on YouTube, wherever you're commenting on the blog. Let me know, because the one day I consistently have off now, every week, is, yes, Phoebe knows, is every Monday. The downside to it is I would be recording directly after I work all weekend. That's my only downside. If you'd like to keep me recording every week, if you think weekly is good, if you think every other week, but if I do every other week, it's also going to be a longer show, which takes longer to compress, more times running the file through Handbrake. I have a very wet, whiny goober down here because she needed a bath desperately this morning. Do you want to come say hi? Come on. Hang on, I gotta pick her up. My old lady dog does not jump anymore. Yeah, you're okay. Okay, ready? Oh, I got her. Here's the goober, the Phoebe, fresh from a bath. Yeah, we haven't seen her in a while. She's getting to be quite the old lady. She's 13 and a half now. She's been with me my entire adult life, basically. As far as we know, no health problems. Nothing major, just getting old. She's like 90 plus in dog years, so she's getting up there, aren't you? Along with all the various things that go with it. Yeah, wheezy. Okay, so let me know what you guys think. Do you want me to keep recording every week and have slightly shorter shows? Would you rather I go every other week and have longer shows and just have to wait a little bit longer, like a couple extra days while it compresses? Because I'm not down here on my computer all the time. That's the one downside of it. When I worked nights and was single and didn't have kids, I could sit there all night and cruise the computer, and I just got hair in my eye. Oh, that's lovely. Ow. Welcome to my life. It's so glamorous to be a podcaster. Hi. How you doing? Nope, still there. Oh, God. Sorry. Okay, we'll deal with it. I'll just be sitting here like this the whole time, rubbing my eye. Okay, I don't know if it's hair or an eyelash, but wow, that's annoying. No, it's still there. Okay, we're working with it. So, it's a knitting show, right? You guys kind of want to see the knitting, the crafting, the everything. First thing first, what I've been working on, I had a class that that I didn't have to take, but, you know, free continuing education hours, 16 of them for a little 2-day course on patient transferring. So there wasn't a whole lot of class time. It was more like lab time, like doing actual work on each other. So I didn't get a whole lot done here. But the Beck sweater by Danny, it is Beck by Danny Sunshine. Last week, let's see, where was I last week? I don't even remember. I put a progress marker in all of my projects. Oh, there, whatever it was fell out. Oh, thank God. That's better. And I didn't say where I was last week. I think I had just finished or was just getting ready to start the third little textured bit here. So you can see my progress marker hanging there. This was made for me by a former patient. She made it for me while she was a patient. I just haven't had a chance to use it until now. And it's a wee little coffee cup because she knew I was a big coffee drinker. And she's like, oh, I have the perfect charm for you. And she was making earrings for all of the nursing staff. And I told her, well, I really don't wear earrings, thank you. But you know what, I'm a knitter and I could really use stitch markers because she was out of the French hooks or any hoops to put the charms on. So she was... Shh. I don't need you to whine in the background, Goober. So she had a necklace clasp, just a lobster claw, because that's what a progress marker is. And she hooked me up with this along with a few stitch markers. So where that's at, all the way up there where it's hooked in, that's how much I was able to knit during the first couple hours of this 16-hour 2-day class. So I am at the point, I'm now, I know it doesn't look it because it's all bunched up and funky. I'm 8.5 inches into the sweater from the cast on edge. There we go, there's the full thing. You can see all the little textured bits and the cables and yumminess. I'm ready to separate for the sleeves and get those on holders and then zoom my way down the body, hopefully zoom. The yarn is Rowan Felted Tweed. It is the DK. And the colorway is 173. Purchased this years ago at Personal Threads, and I think I ended up getting like 14 or 15 balls, so hopefully that's enough for this sweater. It should be. I'm into my second ball already. So this is a full ball. This is what I have left of the second ball. We'll see. We'll see. It should be enough. If not, I'll make 3/4 sleeves. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. As long as we keep saying it, everything will be absolutely fine, right? Right. Agree with me, because that's the way things are going right now. So, like I said, getting ready to divide for this, split off the sleeves and work my way down from there, but I didn't have the headspace last night when I got home from work for various reasons. But I'm knitting it up on a US 6, a 4.0 millimeter needle. It is so soft that Felted DK is a, suppose I should tell you what it's made out of. 50% merino, 25% alpaca, and 25% viscose. So it's got this lovely halo that's working up. Occasionally there will be a guard hair. Oh yeah, you can kind of see the fuzz right there. Let's see, get it back in the dark spot. You see a couple of those guard hairs sticking up. That's okay. They weren't too terrible. So, first thing, I knit like, what, an inch, almost 2 inches, 1.75-ish, 1.5 inches. But realize there's also like 280 stitches on the needles at this point. So a round takes a long time. I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, I'm not making any progress. And then I realized, oh yeah, I have almost 300 stitches on the needles. That's probably why. Second thing I've been working on, and this was mainly all knit in pretty much one night, is the worry socks. Still don't know anything about hubby's condition. He's supposed to have his follow-up with the cardiologist this week. They're probably still going to go, I don't know, you had any chest pain since then? Okay, cool. Well, we still don't know what's wrong with you. Comforting. Probably, but I'll let you guys know later. So, the worry socks are 72 stitch vanilla socks, just plain stockinette socks, with a heel flap, I decided, in Trekking XXL out of the Deep Stash. And it is color 415, yeah. So it's this hot pink, neon green, mint green, lime green. There's a little bit of purple thrown in. It's a little bit washed out, but pretty true to color, aside from being kind of blown out with the white. Because, gee, I'm filming at 10:45 in the morning. It's crazy. So, loving it so far. So I said, well, it was 2 nights. 2 nights. So, again, put a progress marker last week. So here's my sock so far. We'll flip it around. You can see both sides. Lovely pooling. Don't even care. It's fine. Phoebe! Hush! Dog! Oh my gosh! The whining is driving me nuts. Obviously, since I just snapped on camera and I don't normally do that. Sorry. My little progress marker here, I was about 1/2 inch down from the ribbing, up from the ribbing, however you want to put it. Ooh, there's one of my hairs. And so 2 nights, one night hubby, so he has like, he has a lot of cartoons he likes to watch, but the anime that he likes to watch basically has been Dragon Ball Z, which shows on Cartoon Network on Saturday nights. But he was getting a little sick of it, and the one he really loves, that he's loved since he was little, is the story behind Full Metal Alchemist. But he hasn't been able to find it on Blu-ray DVD, except like Amazon has it for like exorbitant. It's like $300 for Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Well, I wasn't cruising, thinking, Father's Day's coming up, birthday and Christmas later this year. Obviously, that's a ways away, but hello, big present if I'm going to spend that kind of money. And I happened to see that, oh gee, the first season of Brotherhood is also on Prime, streaming for free. So I got it set up for him. He was all excited, and we've been working our way through Full Metal Alchemist. Not exactly my thing, but be supportive, sit on the couch, kind of halfway pay attention, like a lot of you do during football games or other sporting events, or you need something to focus on. So he's watching Full Metal Alchemist, and I'm knitting on my sock. And then we're also, where my progress also came this week, we're also working our way through all of the Marvel movies before Avengers Infinity War comes out in May. We saw a thing on Facebook that said if you watch one Marvel movie a week from the beginning of January, you will have finished all of them by the time Infinity War comes out. So it's kind of like a refresher course on what has happened thus far. We decided to watch them not in release date order, but in chronological order per storyline. So we've watched Captain America, the First Avenger, Iron Man, the first one, and then we kind of fell behind, and we really need to have a week where we can watch 2 movies or even 3 movies, 2 movies to catch up at this point. So the other night we sat down, and the next one in the series is not a Marvel film. It's actually from Universal because they own the rights to Hulk. We watched The Incredible Hulk, which is the version with Ed Norton. It's really bad. So we kind of MST3K'd it, and to keep my attention and keep me from falling asleep, I pulled out the sock and managed to make it through the whole movie awake. Yay! So, again, where I was last week, and we will move it up. I'm down all the way down the cuff. I think I did 70 rows for the cuff, and then I am working on the heel flap, and you can see where all the slip stitches are. It's a regular plain old slip stitch heel flap on half the needles, or half the stitches. I'm using US 1s or a 2.25 millimeter needle for my needle, and I'm liking how it's coming out. I wasn't sure how I would, but it's kind of rainbowy and happy and cheerful, which was why on that terrible night a few weeks ago, I grabbed like the happiest thing I could see in my cupboard that didn't need winding. That was my reasoning for grabbing this. So yeah, that's everything on my needles right now. So we're going to get into various and sundry, and we're going to touch on an old subject we haven't talked about in a while. But first, why am I recording at 10:30 on a Wednesday? Hubby's at work, and there are no kidlets running around. So because of unforeseen circumstances that happened to one of hubby's coworkers, he is covering all of her shifts on day shift, which means he's off his normal schedule. So where he would normally be home right now, he is at work, which normally means I'd have the kids. But because of this shift in schedule, we don't want to lose our nanny by telling her, oh, well, you're just out hours. So even though we're home, we're letting her come over. It's not for her full hours, but she's at least getting some hours and getting a paycheck. And she took the kids out to story time at the library, and they've been gone for, it's almost 11 now. So they've been gone since about, 9:30. I think story time started at 11. So they had some time playing and to check out books at the library and have fun. So Momma's Day Off. I've been sitting in silence upstairs. I thought about turning on the TV and watching something. I was like, no, just silence. No podcasts, no nothing. I gave Phoebe a bath, and now she's scratching. Stop. Yeah, you. Can't see her, but she looks guilty. Right, Goober? Oh, there she goes. So she got a bath without any small ones helping, which is always good. Come here. Come here. I got to sit and eat my breakfast and drink a hot cup of coffee, which is why I don't have coffee right now, because I drank it already. I might, when I get this loaded and compressing, I might take a walk up to the coffee shop down the street and just sit there in silence and knit. Maybe listen to some podcasts, drink a latte in peace. Not something I get to do, like, ever. So it's kind of weird. It's a little odd, but yay for a little bit of a day off. We talked about the recording schedule already. Please weigh in on the episode thread or over on YouTube. I read all the comments. I don't always respond. I'm kind of bad at that. I try to. Or a lot of times I respond in my head and don't realize, oh, you never actually responded to that. So I am reading everyone's comment and taking everything into consideration. So let me know if you want to keep up this every other week schedule or have me switch to recording every week on Mondays. I can work either one. Just let me know. And then, you know, we have this little sticky thread at the top of the Ravelry form. It's called Any Questions. I started it last year and then I kind of petered off. And then a couple people posted recently and I went, oh yeah, I haven't done that in a while. So we're going to do one this week because there's not a whole lot of questions left on there. I need to go back to a few people's, but once again, I'm not supremely organized. So I wasn't able, Pearly Knits, I'm sorry, I still have to gather my favorite things. My favorite finished items, she asked me to show those. Calico Cat, I need to get some more ideas for what my preferred yarns for clothes for my children are. Main answer there is superwash, but I'll get more in depth. So I'm going to skip your guys's for right now, and we're going to go down to Pumpkin 97, which number one, my mom would love your screen name because that was her nickname for me when I was growing up was Pumpkin, P-U-N-K-I-N. So Pumpkin 97 is, do we have a name to go with it? Erin said, Karen, first I want to thank you for the awesome podcast. It's my first time asking questions, so please bear with me. Have you ever knit socks with contrasting color for cuff, heel, and toe? I know you knit socks, but haven't seen you knit them like that. So I was wondering if you have and why you haven't/don't anymore. Also, is there something knitting related that you would love to do, like your magnum opus in knitting? Thank you, Erin, Pumpkin97. Well, Erin, have I ever knit socks with contrasting color for cuff, heel, and toe? Yes. Back when I was helping out on the audio podcast on Lime and Violet, we received kits, actually, from... I don't even remember who they were from, but they were specifically dyed for Lime and Violet with their colors. Since I was filling in for Lime, Violet gave me her kit, and it was sport weight yarn, so I was knitting it on 3s. It had contrasting cuff, heel, toes. I don't think I even finished one sock. The sock ended up being too small for me. I didn't like the whole fact that I love knitting socks basically in one piece. The afterthought heel when I have self-striping, okay, I kind of have to do that. But when I'm doing a top-down heel flap, which was what I was doing at the time, rather than having an end and an end at the toe, 2 ends to weave in when you're done. That's it. That's the part of the appeal of socks, is I hate weaving in ends. If you have a contrasting cuff, there's 1, there's 2, 3 where you join on the next color, and then 4 where the main color ends sometimes, or you can keep going, but at least 4 where you start the contrasting heel, 5 where the contrasting heel ends, 6 where the main color ends before you put on the toe, which has 7 and 8. So 2 ends versus 8 ends, that's basically why I don't. With the afterthought heel, which I've done for my, the socks I knit out of Fiber Nymph's Nyan Cat colorway, which I don't remember what I called them on the RAV page, but her Nyan Cat colorway came with like a navy blue with sparkle in it to do your, and I didn't do the ribbing, I just did the heel and toe in that contrasting color. So, okay, I had 4 ends. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't remember how many ends I did. For some reason, it seems like there were fewer on that one than there would be on a normal sock. But yeah, it's not really my thing. I don't know why. I like everything to be nice and neat and tidy. If it comes with a coordinating skein, I might do, like I said, the afterthought heel and the toe, or just the afterthought heel. But generally, I don't know, it's just more ends to weave in and I don't like that. That's the reason why I don't do them anymore. Something knitting related I would love to do, like my magnum opus in knitting. I would love to do a Dale of Norway sweater someday. I don't know. There's always something new. There's always something different to pick, new things. It's kind of like it's kind of like my job, nursing. I can never say I know everything because it's a constantly evolving thing. To me, knitting and crafting is like that too. It's constantly changing and evolving. Designers are thinking of new ways to do things and new ways to put things together. And are there classics? Yes, there are always classics. Some people, their magnum opus is an Alice Starmore sweater. Some it's a Niebling doily done on 000 needles. It's different for every person, but I would say a Dale of Norway sweater. It's doable, but it's not something I'll probably ever get to. I'd still like to someday, Lord knows when in the future, spin a sweater's worth of yarn and knit a sweater from it. I still have Millie. Millie's still back there, along with a couple of other fleeces that I should probably just use as compost because they've been sitting in there for so long and haven't been washed. That's something I'd really like to do. I don't have a sweater in mind because it would depend on what the yarn wanted to do, how the fiber wanted to play with the wheel, and what kind of yarn I ended up with in the yardage. So that would probably be my magnum opus. So hopefully I answered your question, Erin, and thank you. And we've got about 6 more questions on the thread. If you feel like asking me something, if any questions come up, we'll keep going with this until we run out of questions. And I'm sorry I took such a long break from answering them, you guys. I will get back into it. So we will, I guess we'll see. I'll either see you in 2 weeks or I will see you next Monday. So until then, everyone, happy knitting.